I don't have like the whole, oops. Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel. I'm Nikki, and today's video I'm really excited to make because I have just been getting so much great feedback about the bowls. You guys really enjoy making them. They really are something so simple and filling to make. I've just been making them throughout my journey and I've come up with so many different variations that I want to share them with you. So this video is going to be a week's worth of bowls. I'm going to do 7 different variations of my bowls that I like to make, and it'll just be throughout the week as I make different ones. I have 7 different types that I'm gonna make, and I'll record myself making them, explaining them, and all the ingredients that I like to use. And I try to make them like different themes. So I have like Mexican, Greek, poke bowl, a stir fry bowl, an Italian bowl, a burger bowl, and then a breakfast bowl. So that's what we're gonna be doing for this video. If you enjoy it, go ahead and give it a like and subscribe to my channel, and let's go ahead and get started with today's lunch bowl. So I have another video that explains like a lot of the ingredients I use and 3 like specific types of bowls that I like to make, so I can link that one down below. But like I said, this one's just gonna go way more in detail. And a lot of questions that I got on the first video I made were about which bowls I use. So this is the one I definitely use the most. And then there's also this one, which is a lot bigger, if you can tell. So I'd like to spread the rice out a lot more on this one. But both of these I just got from Target, and I want to say this was literally $3. Like, they are very cheap. I just buy one. I don't have like the whole set of them, so I just buy one bowl, and that's my bowl that I make for lunch every day. But anyway, I'm gonna go with the smaller one today. So I'm just gonna walk you through what I'm putting in the Italian bowl today, and then I'm just gonna show you how I do it. Okay, so the first ingredient that I always use, except for one of the bowls, I'll probably use hash browns for the breakfast one, but I always have some jasmine rice made in the fridge, and if I don't, I also use the Trader Joe's organic rice that's frozen. I just have regular rice that I make in bulk, and I weigh out the serving that I use, and I'll show you how I do that. Then for today's, this is the meat that I found that I want to use. So this is spicy Italian chicken sausage from Trader Joe's, and it's 3 smart points for a link. Then I'm also going to be using some of these Trader Joe's tomatoes, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just actually chop up some zucchini, cook it in a skillet, and then add the tomatoes in. And that way that'll also be able to be used for a Mexican bowl later in the week. Then I also have some reduced fat mozzarella, which is 2 smart points for the serving I use. I have some cooked peppers as well that I already sauteed, peppers and onions. This bowl will end up being 9 smart points on the blue plan because I'm gonna be using 4 smart points worth of rice. So let's go ahead and get started. And then I remembered that I had half a red onion in the fridge, so I'm also going to use that as well with the zucchini and the tomato mixture. Okay, so I have my zucchini and my onions cooking on here. And then I'm also going to use a little bit of this seasoning. This is just the McCormick garlic, onion, pepper, and salt. So covers all grounds there. And just go ahead and use some of that to season up the veggies. And then I also have the can of tomatoes that I strained a little bit. There's still a little bit of liquid in there, but I'm just gonna toss those in. And this smells like pizza right now. It smells so good. So this is just a really good mix of veggies that'll fit well with the Italian toppings. So when I make my bowls, if I have any cold ingredients that I'm reheating that were already in the fridge, I pretty much assembled that part of the bowl first. So like the rice was cold, and then I also had these peppers in there that were cold, so I'm just gonna go ahead and put those on. And then when I heat up the rice in the microwave, it'll heat the peppers up as well. Sometimes I'll have other ingredients, maybe like the zucchini was already cooked before, and then I would put that on and microwave it as well. But this is what needs to be cooked. Then the rest of the ingredients are already heated up, so I'll just add those on as I go. So let me heat this up for like a minute. Okay, so now I have my rice heated up, my pepper mixture heated up. I'm gonna go ahead and I already cooked the chicken sausage, whatever the instructions said, for a minute or whatever, in the microwave. So that's my chicken sausage now. Then this is my nice zucchini tomato mixture, and I'm just gonna go ahead and add that in. And then the last thing is this reduced fat mozzarella, which I'm also gonna weigh out the serving. And every time I use shredded cheese, I use 28 grams, which is usually, if it's a reduced fat cheese, 2 smart points. If it's a regular cheese, 3 smart points. Okay, so then this is my finished Italian bowl. So like I said, this is 9 smart points for the entire thing. Look at how much food that is. Like, it is heavy and it is filling so many veggies. You still get some meat, some cheese. It's just such a good meal. So 4 smart points for the serving of rice I used 120 grams. 2 smart points for the cheese that I used 28 grams. Then these two things are both 0 smart points, so that doesn't matter. And the sausage is 3 smart points. So 9 smart points on the blue plan. Okay, so I'm on to the next bowl. It's a new day. I just got done skating. That's why my face is so red. But today is the Greek bowl, and I'm so excited because that's definitely my favorite one out of all of these. This is the one I've eaten the most, and I just can't get enough of it. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started and tell you the ingredients that I'm gonna be using, and then I'm gonna show you how I assemble the bowl. So I'm using the bigger one today, and I have a nice base of rice. I already weighed it out, and I did 150 grams, which is 5 smart points. Sometimes I switch between 4 or 5 or 6 smart point servings. And yeah, so the meat or protein for my bowl today is going to be turkey burgers. I just made a big batch of them on the grill the other day, and it's so nice to just have them in the fridge like this, and it took me like 10 minutes. So turkey burgers, these are 0 smart points because I use 99% lean turkey. Lots of veggies in this one, and that's why I love it, and they're all like my favorite veggies, so it's even better. My favorite thing is these roasted red peppers, and 0 smart points. Yeah, I don't even have to really cut these up. They're already in like good enough chunks, so I just put them directly on the bowl. I also had some zucchini and peppers made, so I'm gonna use some of that mixture. So we get this giant thing of artichoke hearts from Sam's Club, and these are so good on it. So those are my veggies, and then I also like to use some feta cheese. Today I'm gonna be using a 1/2 ounce, so half a serving, which is 1 smart point. And then my favorite dip out of all of them, this is the spinach parmesan tzatziki from Aldi, and I'm gonna use 2 tablespoons of that for 2 smart points. So let's get this bowl together. Okay, so here is my finished Greek bowl, and this one, if you're gonna make it, I highly recommend you get the roasted red peppers, feta, and artichokes. Try it for yourself. I think it's just worth getting a few specialty ingredients if you want, and it's so nice to just have them in the fridge. Like, the roasted red peppers and the artichokes last in the jars. Cucumber I don't usually have on hand, so that's one thing I just have to make sure I have, but I don't always include it in the bowl anyway. And then I always have to have my tzatziki, and I've just been able to keep feta on hand, and I always have veggies, and then yeah, any meat really works. So highly recommend this one. This one is definitely my favorite bowl. So it's a total of 5 smart points for the rice, 2 smart points for the tzatziki, and then that's only 1 smart point worth of feta cheese. I weighed out a 1/2 ounce, and it looks like so much more. So when you really crumble it up and spread it out, it is a good amount of cheese, and yeah, it's worth it. So this whole bowl is only 8 smart points on blue. Okay, so I just got back from the gym and we are going to have dinner, and what we're doing today is a burger bowl, which I actually haven't made this one before. This is one I've been wanting to make because I just feel like it'll be good. I don't know with the rice if it'll be like a weird combo, but we're just gonna try it because I'm always trying to find new bowl ideas. Okay, so for this bowl, we are going to start with, I'm using my big bowl today. We're gonna do a base of rice, and I'm gonna use a 5 smart point serving, which will be a cup, but I weigh it in grams on my scale. Then I made a bunch of extra turkey burgers, so we're gonna each have a turkey burger in ours, and that's 0 smart points. I have these really flavorful garlic dill pickles that we're gonna have. These are gonna be 0 smart points for the serving we're using. Cut up tomatoes, 0 smart points. I'm gonna saute an onion, a red onion for 0 smart points, and then some shredded lettuce for 0 smart points. Then we're also gonna make some turkey bacon, which each slice is 1. Adam's gonna have 3 slices, I'm gonna have 2, so 2 smart points. And then I'm gonna make like a burger sauce. So there's so many different recipes online. There's so many different ways you can make like a special burger sauce, but I'm just gonna kind of put some stuff that we like and see how it goes. So I'm gonna use some of this no sugar added ketchup, some light mayo. This is like my favorite relish. This is the Famous Dave's signature spicy relish. I'm gonna use some cayenne pepper and then also some garlic salt and then maybe a little bit of salt and pepper, but we'll taste it to see. So that is everything I'm gonna be putting in these burger bowls, and yeah, I'm excited to see how they turn out. Like I said, we haven't done this one before, so this one will be good. It'll have good amount of protein and veggies, and yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So we were actually out of jasmine rice, so I had to make some in the rice cooker fresh, so we're gonna be using that. Then we just lay our turkey bacon out on a plate with a paper towel and put another paper towel on top of it and throw it in the microwave until it's nice and crispy how we like it. You can also air fry it, we do that sometimes, but I'm just gonna microwave it today. And then I'm also gonna throw the turkey burgers in the microwave and cook them for like a minute, and then they should be good. That's all I'm gonna do to reheat the burgers. And then all the veggies are gonna be cold except for the onion I'm gonna go ahead and cook up on the stove. So this is how the sauce turned out, and I actually just used the WW recipe builder to see how many points it was. So it's 6 points for the whole serving. I'm just gonna split it evenly between me and Adam. So we're each gonna have 3 points worth of sauce, and then that will be everything. Okay, so here's the final bowl. So the base is just 5 smart points of jasmine rice that we just made. Then we have the turkey burger for 0 points, the grilled red onion for 0, tomato for 0, pickles for 0, and the shredded lettuce for 0. I have 2 pieces of turkey bacon for 2 smart points, and then the sauce is 3 smart points. So this entire bowl is 10 smart points for dinner. Update on the burger bowl, because I know this was like the most requested bowl. It is so good. I have to say, I made the sauce really spicy because of the cayenne pepper and then the spicy relish. So I'm kind of like downing water now. It's pretty spicy, but this is way better than I actually expected. I didn't know if the lettuce would be weird on there and stuff, but it was like the perfect amount of sauce. The onions are so good, and then I'm so glad we added the turkey bacon. We were thinking about adding cheese, but really it does not need it. So very, very good. This might be one of my top ones. Just got back from skating, and I'm gonna make dinner for us, and we're doing Mexican bowls today. So Mexican bowls are so easy to just like load with veggies. There's so many good veggies that go with the Mexican taste, and just, yeah, it's so easy to throw a bunch of veggies in here and really make it. This is probably the most filling bowl that I always make. I already have my big bowl, and I did a base of 5 smart points worth of jasmine rice, and it's cold. And like I've mentioned before, I'm going to put the cold ingredients on first, heat that up, and then as the hot ones are done, I'm going to top the bowl with it. But I always put all the cold ingredients I'm reheating in the bowl, throw it in the microwave all together. I don't like heat up in different containers and stuff. It just saves a bunch of containers and makes it easier. So I have that. So the cold ingredients I'm going to be putting in, I have some tomatoes and zucchini and onion from one of the other bowls that's gonna go really well with this. That's the only thing I really have to reheat because the other stuff I'm making. So I have the air fryer full of chicken. You can't really see. I just use the Tyson Naturals grilled chicken nuggets, and those are 0 smart points. Super flavorful, super good in the air fryer. I use them the most in my bowls and wraps, and I just highly recommend them. They're kind of hard to find, but that's definitely my favorite chicken to use for like bowls and wraps. So have the Tyson chicken, the zucchini and tomato mix. Then I'm also going to make a mix of some fire roasted corn with some pinto beans, and these are organic. So both of these are 0 smart points. So I'm just gonna strain both of these, and then really all I do is I put it in a saucepan on the stove. I mix it together and I just heat it up, and that way I just have some heated up beans and corn mixture, and it's really good. Sometimes I even add some like seasoning into it, but you don't even have to do that. But that's just a good way to get the corn and beans in the bowl. Then I'm also going to go ahead and just cut up some peppers and cook those on the stove. I'm going to use some of the Trader Joe's queso cheese dip, Trader Joe's garlic chipotle salsa, some Daisy light sour cream, and then I'm gonna top it with some sliced jalapenos. So here I have the corn and bean mixture cooking, and like I said, I just have it on a low heat, and instead of putting any seasoning or anything, I actually just put a little bit of this taco sauce that I really like in there, just to give it a little bit of sauce on it, but not much. And then we're just gonna finish this queso off. So I just heated it up in the jar in the microwave, and this is the queso from Trader Joe's. So this entire bowl is gonna be, we got 5 smart points for the serving of jasmine rice, 1 smart point for the serving of Trader Joe's queso, and then 1 smart point for the sour cream. Everything else is 0 smart points. The corn, beans, zucchini, onion, tomato, chicken, the salsa, and the peppers. Everything else is 0 smart points. So super filling. This is what I mean when I talk about meals, like basing them around 0 point foods, because like this is only 7 smart points for the whole thing, but look at all those 0 point foods, and it's gonna be really filling and nutritious, and I'm not gonna feel like garbage after eating it. So I'm excited to mix it all together. This is one of my favorites to mix with the sour cream and the queso and the rice. It's just so good. So this is it. And I almost forgot to add on my jalapenos, which those are 0 smart points as well. Okay, so we are going to make another bowl today, and it's actually lunchtime. We were gonna make this for breakfast, but we're always like way behind. So for lunch, we're actually gonna make a breakfast bowl, and I haven't made this one before either, but I wanted to come up with 7 different bowls, so that's what we're doing. This will be the only bowl that I'm making that doesn't have rice as the base. So for the base, I'm just gonna use these Simply Potatoes shredded hash browns, and I actually already weighed out our portions that I'm going to be cooking. So I have 150 grams weighed out for each of us, and then I'm going to cook it and then put it in our bowl. I'm going to cook them separately, so I have them weighed out. 150 grams is 3 smart points on blue, so it'll be a 3-point base. Then we're going to do some over easy eggs, some cooked up. I already have some peppers cooked, and I'll probably just cook this container and toss them on top. We're going to use some turkey sausage crumbles, and then some reduced fat cheddar cheese, and some garlic chipotle salsa from Trader Joe's. So that'll be everything, and I'll show you guys how we assemble it. I'm gonna get the hash browns cooking first, and then pretty much just heat up the other ingredients, the sausage, the peppers, and then cook the eggs really quick. So yeah, that'll be our breakfast bowl. Okay, so this is the final breakfast bowl. So the base of hash browns is 3 smart points worth, and we weighed out 150 grams. The peppers are 0 smart points. The turkey sausage crumbles, I used a half cup, but I actually weighed it out, so it was 57 grams, and that's 4 smart points worth. And then I weighed out my cheese, 28 grams for 3 smart points, and then the eggs are 0 smart points. And then I'm also gonna top it with some Trader Joe's garlic salsa, but this is the final bowl. Okay, so I'm making us dinner, and our dinner tonight is going to be a stir-fry bowl. So I'm going to show you guys how we make that, and pretty much we're going to start with a rice base. I have some leftover rice made that I'm just going to reheat into my bowl, and then for stir-fry, I usually use the same vegetables every time. Sometimes I add a few more. Today I'm actually going to be doing a few more than normal. I'm going to cook up a mixture of some broccoli florets with some sugar snap peas, with a few shredded carrots, and then a red bell pepper and a green bell pepper. So I'm gonna cook all that as a veggie mix, and then I'm gonna have another one cooking, and that one's just gonna be this that I got from Jewel, and it's just like some green and yellow zucchini squash, some mushrooms, and it looks like there's some onions on the bottom. So that'll be just another good veggie to add in. Then I also grilled up some chicken, which usually I cook the chicken on the stove, but today I had a teriyaki marinade I wanted to try, so I actually just made a bunch of chicken for us for the week. So this is like a barbecue, a garlic parmesan, and then this is the teriyaki that we're gonna be using for the stir fry. And then with the veggies, this is the sauce that I use. This is from Panda Express. I just buy it at Walmart usually. And then we're gonna also make some of these wontons. And these are the chicken and vegetable dumplings, and I don't know how many are left in there, but we're just gonna split them up and then count the points for however many are in there. So we're gonna top it with these. So that will be everything for our stir fry bowl. So let's go ahead and get started. So here are my veggies cooking up, and this is the broccoli, pea pods, peppers, and carrots. And I just put some soy sauce in there with it. Both the pans I started with just a little bit of olive oil. I make so many portions and the oil's divided so much that I don't even really track it usually, but this is the first mix of veggies, and then I also have the mushrooms and peppers and zucchini over here. So here's our final stir fry bowl. So the base of rice is 5 smart points. I use 150 grams. Then the chicken, that's 0 smart points. And then both veggie mixes are 0 smart points. And then the wontons are 3 smart points total for 9 of them. I also tracked 2 smart points worth of the mandarin teriyaki sauce that I used on the vegetables. And then I might throw a little bit more on top, but I also top it with a little bit of soy sauce. And that's the finished bowl for 10 points. So tonight for dinner, we're gonna make poke bowls, and I actually got a new bowl today, so I'm gonna be using this one. And I'm also gonna be using a different base than the other ones. I've used plain jasmine rice for every other bowl except for the breakfast bowl. But today, because we're doing a poke bowl, I wanted more like sushi style rice. So I got these from Costco, and they are higher point. They're 9 smart points per each container, and we're each gonna have our own. It's not too crazy, and we're both pretty hungry, so that'll be fine. Everything else is pretty low point that we're gonna be using anyway. So, okay, so the veggies that I'm using for the bowl are gonna be these carrots. Then I got this frozen edamame, and I usually like to get the edamame from Trader Joe's. It's not like in the shells, but this will be just as good. And then I also cut up some cucumbers. Then we have some imitation crab that I cut up, and the portions for us are gonna be 2 smart points each. And then I also took a can of just this chunk light tuna, and I mixed it with some of this sriracha from Trader Joe's, and I like this one because it's not as spicy as like a regular sriracha. And I just mixed it together to make like a version of spicy tuna. That's actually really good, especially with that sauce specifically. And then I also got some shrimp that I put a honey sriracha marinade on. It's been in the fridge for like 2 hours with it on it and just a little bit of oil, but I'm not even tracking that. So I'm tracking this as 0 points. So technically 9 points. Oh, wait. And then we also have these wonton strips that we're gonna top them with. And I'll probably put some sesame seeds as well and a little bit of soy sauce, or maybe I'll make a sauce for them, but we'll see. I'm gonna go ahead and grill the shrimp right now. I have the grill heating up outside, and then it's pretty much just microwaving the edamame, the rice, and assembling the bowl. Everything else is cold, so this will be really good. I'm gonna go ahead and get the shrimp grilled. Okay, so I didn't realize that actually the edamame had to be shelled, so I just had to squeeze the edamame out of the shells. Okay, so here is mine in the fancy bowl, and then Adam just has his in a plastic bowl because he doesn't care. And I also have some sesame seeds that I'm just going to top them with. So that's the finished bowl, and then we're also going to just use a little bit of soy sauce, and I'm going to use a little more sriracha. Okay, so the final point total for this bowl is going to be 9 for the rice plus 2 for the imitation crab, and then 2 for the wonton. So the total bowl is 13 smart points on the blue plan.